What's up, everyone? Welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video, I will be reviewing episode 222 of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, titled The Night Before the Final Round. So this episode was about everybody getting prepared for their final match and their final round in the tuning exams. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like a tournament, like how the last couple tuning exams been, like you in the final round there's a tournament, or if they're just having one fight. It seems like they're just having one fight, and Shikamaru said only half of you will become tuning. So it's basically implied that everybody's gonna be having one match, and whoever wins that one match will be promoted to being a tuning, which means 5 people, 5 shinobi, 5 of these Genin will be promoted to being a tuning. That's what it seems like. That's what's implied. I don't know if they're going to do this tournament style like how they did the last tuning exams. You know, that'll probably be better because we'll get more matches out of that. But either way it goes, I'm really enjoying this tuning exam so far. And I'm really happy that we're back to anime original stuff. Some people are saying that this is filler. It's not filler. I'm probably going to have to make a whole video on why each and every episode of the Boruto anime is canonical. Literally each and every episode is canonical. Even though there is a couple episodes, like maybe like a few, like maybe like 5 at most, that I didn't like, I still acknowledge that the fact that they are canon, because it's actually factual that the Boruto anime is canon. So, and I've been seeing a lot of people say, "Oh, Boruto." I think I heard somebody say it's entering the dark ages of filler, and we're gonna have a year or two of filler. No, none of this is filler. This is all canonical, and it's all very important. Just like how the Korra actuation arc tied into the story from the manga, and it actually, you know, basically expanded on the Korra and added more detail and depth to a very important villain organization from the Boruto manga, which is Korra. And yeah, that, you know, drastically improved the story when they eventually started to adapt the story from the manga, because all of those characters, all of those Korra members had been further, had been further developed, or had further, had more detail and depth added to their characters in the anime. Therefore, everything was more important in the anime when they got to the manga stuff. For example, Mujino, he was a lot more important in the anime than in the manga, where he was pretty much just a, in the manga, we really knew nothing about him before he died. And the anime, they gave us his backstory and all types of stuff, and they, had him interacting and bonding with Team 7. So, yeah, I'm really liking this stuff, especially since I'm a manga reader. Therefore, I already know what's going to happen in the story. But like when we were in those manga, when we were adapting those manga episodes, I already knew what was going to happen. Of course, I knew that the anime could change some things. Some things they changed for the better, and some things they changed for the worse. Like the Boro fight, I stand on what I said about the Boro fight. The anime drastically made that worse. The Boro fight was a lot better in the manga. Now, with that being said, that's why I'm so happy about these anime original episodes, because I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, of course, I know that they're not going to make something that would drastically change the manga story. So it's not going to be anything that's, going to drastically, change the stuff that's going on in the manga. But overall, I still don't know exactly what's going to happen in the story, which, is cool, because, I have something to look forward to every week where I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Now, anyways, the episode. So, yeah, it was about everybody getting ready for the tuning exams. Boruto, he basically said he's going to go change. Well, first off, Team 7, they said that they're, let's, all go all out, and let's not hold back, and no hard feelings if I beat you. That's what Sarda said. So Sarda was pretty confident. And yeah, everybody said they're basically going to go all out. Boruto, he wants to show how much he matured since the last tuning exams. He wants to show his dad how much he matured. And Miski, he also wants to become a tuning, and he's also motivated to do that. He's not okay with failing, basically. And Sarda, she said, this is just one of the, milestones or whatever, stepping stones on our road to being Hokage, basically. But yeah, they all said, let's all go all out and not hold back, and no hard feelings if we lose or whatever. And then Boruto, he basically told Kawaki that he's going to go train with Miski. And Kawaki asked, what about Sarda? And Boruto basically says Sarda is, getting some advice from Sasuke, or she's training with Sasuke or something. And And Boruto said, that's kind of not fair because Sasuke is supposed to be Boruto's master. He basically said Sasuke is supposed to be my master, so that's kind of not fair. And then he asked Kawaki, does Kawaki wants to train with them? Do Kawaki want to train with him and Miski? Kawaki said no, basically. And he didn't, he said he basically don't really get too much about what's going on, but he told Boruto not to embarrass himself. And yeah, so that was the conversation they had. Metal Lee, he was kind of depressed about, about the fact that he failed. And the anime is definitely showing favoritism. I mean, well, maybe it's just because the whole thing with Dinky and Metal Lee is, I'm assuming the reason why they have Dinky in the finals is because they want to showcase the scientific ninja tools. Since the scientific ninja tools are legal in these tuning exams, I think that's the main reason why they have Dinky in these exams. Because, in the finals, because I think they want to show off how much, Dinky has improved, but mainly they want to show off the scientific ninja tools as well, and they want to have that, heavily implemented, because what's the point of having scientific ninja tools allowed when nobody's really going to use them? However, the rule is that they can only use self-made scientific ninja tools. They didn't really show Shikamaru or Naruto or anybody, basically tell them that rule, but that was something that was mentioned by Dinky, so we can assume that they basically told them that rule during the exams. So, so they can use scientific ninja tools that they made themselves. Therefore, Dinky, he basically declined Katasuke's offer of basically helping him with the scientific ninja tools, because he said he has to use his scientific ninja tools that he created himself. Now, that's another reason why I think they have Dinky advancing in the tuning exams over Metal Lee, and that's because I think they're trying to set up Dinky as being like the next Katasuke of the village, like the Katasuke of the next generation, and show that he can make some very, very strong scientific ninja tools and show the whole advancement with that stuff. However, if you look at things from a power scaling standpoint, and I hope this arc doesn't ruin the power scaling or shot. Yeah, because this arc might. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but this arc actually might, ruin. I would say it might contradict the power scaling stuff that we've seen in the series, which would really annoy me. So basically, but what I was talking about with the power scaling is Metal Lee, he's very, very strong. I mean, he literally knocked back Rock Lee in their little sparring match. Now, granted, Rock Lee wasn't using a gauge or anything like that, but the fact that he even, was capable of knocking back Rock Lee is very, very impressive. And in terms of speed and power, he should have been way faster than a lot of other Genin. He's probably a lot slower than characters like Boruto, Sword, and Miski, but he should be way faster than a lot of these other Genin like Dinky and Awabe when it comes to running in the forest and looking for somebody to rescue. He should have been able to do that very, very easily. And the fact that Dinky was carrying that huge, overweight ninja, and he was still able, like, the fact that he could do that and Metal Lee couldn't find, hurry up and find somebody, given how fast he is and how strong he should be able to be able to find somebody and pick them up and, rescue them. I mean, I still kind of, I don't get that really. I'm actually happy with, who's in the finals, because I do want to see some of these new scientific ninja tools. Now, another thing in this episode was Metal Lee, Dinky basically asked Metal Lee, can he help him test out his scientific ninja tool? And then they had a fight, and then Metal Lee basically lost the fight that they had. And Awabe said the one who was most likely to become Chunin is Dinky. So Awabe was very impressed about what he saw, and so was Katasuke. And the fact that Dinky actually beat Metal Lee in the fight is, I mean, whatever scientific ninja tool he's using that he created must be insanely strong. So, and I like how the anime did that. They didn't actually show the fight because they wanted to hype it up. Basically, they wanted to give the viewers, like, let the viewers know that Dinky did something very, very impressive and impressive by taking out a stronger opponent who was Metal Lee. And they wanted to hype up the scientific ninja tools, but they didn't want to spoil exactly what it is. But they're basically gonna show it off in the future. And from the episode title summaries, Dinky seems like he's gonna be taking on Tsubaki. And in the episode, Tsubaki actually asked Dinky, "Hey, what were you guys doing?" And then they basically said that they were training all day or whatever. So yeah, that's gonna be a fight. But that's what it seems like. It seems like Dinky is going to be fighting Tsubaki. So, also, it was mentioned in the episode that Team 7 is basically Team 7 has the best record, and everybody's, looking at basically they think Team 7 is going to be the hardest opponents in the exams. And Team 10, they said Team 10 is right behind Team 7 when it comes to the record. When it comes to their, track record with missions and stuff. And then Team 5, which is Dinky, Metal Lee, and Awabe, they think their team is above Tsubaki, and they think their team is above the other teams besides Team 7, Team 10. So, yeah, that's the case with that. And then we had basically Tsubaki. She was training with Wasabi, and Tsubaki basically told Wasabi, we should, stop right now because if you continue, you'll be tired by tomorrow. And Tsubaki got a letter from the Land of Iron, basically saying that she can return to her village, and she'll be given a leadership position. And she was really happy about that. But she says she's going to return after the tuning exams because she want her village to have a lot of hope and pride, and basically like she want them to be basically proud of her and have a lot of hope. And her becoming the tuning and doing really well in the exams would actually boost that up and boost up the make her village proud and hopeful about the future as she takes on her leadership position. And yeah, it's really cool that we had her in there because I like seeing the next generation of samurai. She's probably going to be the one who replaces Mifune as the leader of the samurai eventually. I don't know what leadership role she's going to get. I don't think she's going to be promoted to being the leader of the Land of Iron right now, but she's going to be given a leadership position of some sorts. So, yeah, overall, she's been really well done as a character. But that also means she's going to be leaving her team after the tuning exams. So Wasabi and Namida are probably like the most unlucky Genin because like literally they keep on having like whoever's on the third person on their team keeps on having to leave. First it was Sumire who went to join the Scientific Ninja Tool team, and now Tsubaki who's going to be leaving to go back to the Land of Iron. So I don't know exactly who's going to be the third person on their team again. Since Sumari's back in the village, maybe she'll rejoin the team. I don't know. But yeah, we don't know exactly what's going to happen with that team. And also, Namida mentioned she mentioned Boruto and Sarda specifically about them being like, the biggest challenges in the exams, or about her being the most scared of them or something like that. And yeah, that was cool because that's actually factual. I know a lot of Miski fans, they're probably going to drop a dislike, but let's keep it real in terms of, the feats in the series. And I actually got a whole video called Debunking a Miski Simp. And I got a Sarda versus Miski video. I got a whole video. I got basically like 2 or 3 videos explaining why Sarda would absolutely destroy Miski based off of feats from the anime and manga so far. It's mainly due to the fact that Sarda had a way more impressive performance against a stronger inner core member who was Boro than Miski had against Deepa, who was a weaker inner core member. Only in his first form. We know that Deepa had 2 forms, and he was a weaker inner core member than Boro. Obviously, because Boro fought a stronger version of Team 7 plus Kawaki, whereas Deepa, he got beaten by a weaker Team 7. So yeah, that's the case with that. And Boruto was even using a karma seal back then. And yeah, so that's the case with that. And Miski couldn't even, scratch Deepa or do any noticeable damage to Deepa, whereas even Boruto could. Now, so basically what I'm saying is, what's her name? Namida, she was correct when she said basically Boruto and Sarda are like the biggest challenges. She said something along those lines. She mentioned Boruto and Sarda specifically. So she didn't say Team 7. She just said Boruto and Sarda. And those are actually the strongest Genin in the village right now. That's factual. Like, both of them are the strongest Genin in the village. They're stronger than Miski, and they're stronger than everybody else in these exams. So like I said, if I see something weird with the power scaling, I'm definitely going to be criticizing that. And some people think I'm biased towards the Boruto anime. If you go back and watch my review of the Boro fight, I was heavily criticizing that fight because they actually nerfed Sarda in that fight compared to what she was in the manga, and they tried to make her look weaker, and they stole some of her feats from the manga and gave them to Miski, like her intelligence feats about figuring out the virus and stuff. They stole that stuff from Sarda, which Sarda originally figured that out in the manga, and they gave it to Miski. So the anime was showing some clear Miski bias in that fight, and they definitely did change some things in the manga unnecessarily, and they weren't good changes. There were changes that actually minimized. They were blatantly biased things that were blatantly biased changes that the anime made to the manga in order to try to make Sorta basically try to minimize some of Sorta's feats in the manga, which I didn't like at all. I don't think I'm against the anime being biased towards any character. I think they should adapt the story from the manga. If they want to change some things for the better, that's okay if they do it, if it's a necessary change. If it's unnecessary to change something, I don't think they should be changing something. So yeah, some people say I'm biased towards Boruto anime. No, I'm not. Go back and watch that review. I was very critical. Now, I'm not ridiculously, harsh towards the Boruto anime. Like, I'm not gonna take off 5 points just because they changed something that they shouldn't have changed from anime. I look at the overall episode and see how the episode was handled and how well written it was. So I think I only took off like 1 point in that review. So, anyways, point being, if the anime messes up the power scaling, or, do something that contradicts the power scaling from the anime and the manga that we've seen so far, I'm going to be criticizing it if it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, with that being said, that's what I got to say about that. But also, there were some people saying that Boruto won't be using a karma seal in this fight. And it's a lot of very, very biased Miski fans out there. I could have probably made a whole video about this, but I'm just probably gonna talk about it in this video. So in my last review, I actually brought up some stuff that Boruto did in the academy. I said, yeah, it does make sense that Miski had to copy off of him. What I forgot, basically I had a whole debate with somebody on Twitter, and I basically explained to him that the tuning exams, they were trying to say that since the tuning exams were in the academy, that they were issued by the academy, which is not true. Just because a test takes place in a academy doesn't mean that the tests are actually issued by the academy. Because first of all, it wouldn't make any sense for them to be taking academy level tests when they're trying to become tuning. Obviously, they're taking tuning level tests or higher, probably even jonin level tests in terms of the answers. And I even compared it to the written test from the original Naruto, where they basically place, I think they placed either tuning or jonin in the room because they wanted, basically that they knew that a lot of these Genin wouldn't be able to answer these questions. So they placed basically higher up ninja like tuning or jonin in the room, so to give basically these Genin some people to copy off of. Now the purpose of the exams wasn't to copy, like somebody claimed on Twitter. That wasn't the purpose of the written exam. The purpose of one of the purposes of the written exam was to, well, first of all, the main purpose was to just pass the test. Because if copying was the sole purpose, or if copying was any purpose, was a purpose at all in the exams, then obviously that means whoever didn't copy would fail if copying was the purpose. And obviously Boruto and Sartor didn't copy. Miski copied off of them. And by the way, they're more intelligent than Miski. That's why Miski had to copy off of them. And also these tests, the written test, for example, it actually had, like, if you go back to original Naruto, it had battle related questions. It was questions about battles. So go back to the original Naruto and look at those questions that they were asked. Those were battle level questions about, like, basically basically battle level questions. Go back and watch the original Naruto. But yeah, so the purpose was to pass the exams by basically pass the written test by getting the answers right. Now, if you couldn't get the answers right on your own, then cheating was fine as long as you didn't get caught. So basically, cheating while not getting caught was also probably like a secondary purpose. But the main purpose is just to answer the questions correctly. But, cheating itself wasn't the purpose, because if you cheat and you got caught, then you would get disqualified. But the purpose was basically the purpose was to answer the questions correctly and not get caught cheating. So if you could, it'll be very unnecessary for you to cheat if you already knew the answers. That's why I said to that person on Twitter, obviously Miski was less intelligent than Sarda and Boruto, because it'll be unnecessary and disadvantageous for him to cheat during the written exam when he could risk getting caught, as opposed to just answering the questions by himself. That'll be a much easier way to pass, because he won't have to worry about getting caught by while cheating. So yeah, it's a lot of biased Miski fans out there. Some people were saying, "Oh well, Boruto, he's not going to be able to use the karma seal in the exams," even though Naruto literally talked to Boruto in the episode in episode 221. Naruto literally talked to Boruto, and he told Boruto to do what you normally do. So basically, that's basically like saying, hey, just do what you normally do, Boruto. You can fight how you normally fight. And Boruto, he's ever since this Kawaki arc started, he started to use the karma seal a lot more often in battle. Now another thing is, Naruto never said you can't use the karma seal, or he never even placed any restrictions on the karma seal. So Boruto's not going to be, based on all of the dialogue, Boruto shouldn't be restricted when it comes to the karma seal. And Naruto obviously knows that Boruto has the karma seal, and he didn't tell Boruto that he can't use the karma seal. Now, I think if people are able to use scientific ninja tools and stuff like that, and we already know certain scientific ninja tools can actually absorb jutsu, it's only fair for Boruto to be able to use the karma seal. And the karma seal is a lot stronger than anything that Miski has. The karma seal would absolutely destroy Sage Mode Miski, period. As a matter of fact, even Boruto without the karma seal has better scaling than Sage Mode Miski. So even Boruto in his base form should be able to beat Sage Mode Miski. Now, like I said, if I see anything ridiculous in the tuning exams in terms of the power scaling, I'm definitely going to be complaining about it and taking off points. But anyways, let me get to the other stuff in the episode. So like I said, first of all, another thing, I think the episode did a great job at dividing up time between the teams and stuff like that, basically showing all of the teams that's participating in the tuning exams and dividing up time between them. I think the episode did a great job at that, and did a great job at showing why a lot of these characters, why all of these characters are very, very motivated to take part in these tuning exams. That's something that the episode did really well. It showed us why all of these characters who are participating in the final rounds are motivated to becoming tuning. Chocho, she basically said that she can't continue to be relying on Shukadai. She don't want to be relying on her teammates. Basically, that was her motivation. And yeah, so that was the case with that. And also, Shukadai, he took his teammates out, like he basically treated them to lunch, and he paid their bill. And he said this the next bill that he said basically our next bill will be splitting. And he basically had hope and confidence that his teammates were going to become Chunin. And they actually mentioned that Inogen and Chocho actually mentioned that Shukadai, he hasn't even worn his vest since he became Chunin, and they basically joked about, oh well, he just wants to wear matching vests with us. He wants us to all wear matching vests. So basically, Shukadai is waiting to wear his vest until his teammates become Chunin. Now I'm curious to see how they change some things from the manga, because in the manga, Shukadai, I don't think he was wearing the tuning exam vest at all in the manga, in the current stuff that we have going on. So I don't know, maybe they might change things in terms of like Shukadai and the others. Maybe they might have them wearing that tuning exam vest, even though they don't really need to wear that. I would prefer them to wear their regular outfits anyways. Like even Sakura and all of the other characters in Shippuden, most of them just stay wearing their regular outfits. They had different outfits in Shippuden, but they didn't wear those tuning exam vests until like the 4th grade Ninja War. But so yeah, that was the case with that. They also showed us like a little picture of all of Team Inosuke Cho when they were toddlers, and they were basically saying that they were always together even since they were kids. So that was a cool little thing with that. That was the first time we actually seen a toddler version of Inosuke Cho, I believe. So that was cool. Hoki from Team 25, who's basically under Sai. He basically, Sai gave him some advice in the episode or whatever. So that was cool with that. Also Team 7, basically, since they agreed that they're going to be going all out, I do expect Boruto to be using the Karma Seal and Sarda to be using their Sharingan. Now, based on the upcoming the provisional titles for the anime, it seems like one of the episodes is actually titled "A Battle Between Close Friends" or something like that. And that could either be so that battle could be it could be a couple different scenarios with that. So firstly, like I already mentioned, based on the provisional titles, it seems like Tsubaki is going to be taking on Dinky. Now, who's going to win that fight? It depends on how strong Dinky's scientific ninja tool is. Now, since he defeated Metal Lee pretty easily with it, I would say that most likely might mean he might be beat Tsubaki with that scientific ninja tool, because if you guys watch my basically ranking the Genin from Boruto video, it's actually my most popular video on the channel. It has over 22,000 views. I'm pretty sure I put Tsubaki and Metal Lee like right next to each other. I think Tsubaki, I think I have Metal Lee either right above Tsubaki or right under her. I think, yeah, I put Tsubaki right above Metal Lee. So I think Metal Lee is not that much weaker than Tsubaki. So if Dinky can easily defeat Metal Lee with the scientific ninja tool, then that means he should easily be able to, well, not easily. He might have a lot harder of a time to defeat Tsubaki. But since Tsubaki is only just right above Metal Lee in terms of power, I think, Dinky, he might have a hard battle, but he might end up, barely winning against Tsubaki in the tuning exams. Now, do I want that to happen? Personally, I don't really mind that much. However, I think Tsubaki most likely should win. I really don't care, to be honest. Either one of them winning will be fine with me. It seems like from the provisional episode titles, we already know that Hoki's going to be fighting Inogen, and in the preview, it seemed like Hoki was using some Earth-style jutsu, which is cool because in my last review, I said that he's the only member of his team that we haven't seen fight yet in terms of like using his jutsu and stuff. So it's cool that we're actually seeing him fight. Now, if that Earth-style, I don't know if that Earth-style is his own jutsu or if it's some scientific ninja tool stuff or scientific ninja tool enhanced jutsu. I think in the summary, it was basically, I think it was kind of hinted at that he was using some type of scientific ninja tool. Now, also, so yeah, we already know Hoki versus Inogen, that's going to happen. I predict Inogen is going to win because I think Inogen and Chocho, I think Inogen is definitely going to become a Chunin. So yeah, I'll go with Inogen. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know. I'll go with Inogen. That's my early prediction on that. He's also improved with his mind transfer jutsu. As we've seen in this episode, he said he's able to do it. He improved with the mind transfer jutsu. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm pretty sure probably Inogen's gonna win, and then I think Dinky is gonna beat Tsubaki. Wasabi is gonna beat Awabe, and it seems like Wasabi he's gonna be using some new type of ability. So I think she's going to be beating Awabe, even though I think Awabe is way stronger than her. If she has some type of new ability that she's used, that she's basically learned how to do with training, now I think that's going to be probably going to be enough to beat Awabe, depending on what that new technique is. Because apparently she's going to be using some new cat jutsu. I definitely think Awabe is stronger than Wasabi, but since Wasabi is going to be using a new cat-style jutsu, it seems like she's been training, and since she's going to be introducing a new technique, it seems like that might give her the edge over Awabe. I don't know if Awabe's been training to learn new jutsu. He definitely should have been learning new jutsu. But since Wasabi is going to be introducing a new jutsu, that's what it seems like based off of the episode titles and summaries. Since that's the case, then I think that might give her an edge over Awabe, even though Awabe's stronger than her. That new jutsu, that new technique might give her the edge. Then one of the episode titles is something that, like I said, is titled A Battle Between Close Friends. Now, there's multiple different possibilities with that. Sorda and Chocho are very, very close friends, so it could be talking about it could be basically that battle, Sorda versus Chocho. Miski and Boruto are very close friends, so it could be Boruto versus Miski. And Sorda and Boruto are also very close friends, so it could be Sorda versus Boruto. So, out of those three possibilities, the match that I would be most interested in, most likely, well, in terms of which one would be a better match, that's easily Sorda versus Boruto. Sorda is the only character in the tuning exams who could actually beat Boruto. And she could beat base form Boruto or Karma Seal Boruto with Genjutsu. Now, the thing with the Boruto anime is they constantly nerf Genjutsu. Like, it's very inconsistent with, like, where they have Sorda use Genjutsu sometimes in the anime, but there's other times where she could use Genjutsu to one-shot people, and she still doesn't use it. Like, she could have used Genjutsu to probably one-shot Deepa, but she didn't use it. She could have used Genjutsu on Boro, but she didn't use it. All of those characters don't have Genjutsu counters that we know about. They don't have Dojutsu to counter Genjutsu. They don't have like a Sharingan or, in general, they don't have Genjutsu counters that we know about. So the fact that Sorda didn't even try to use Genjutsu against them, that goes to show you how nerfed the Uchiha clan are. The Uchiha clan is the most nerfed clan in Naruto. They literally have mind control hacks, and they barely ever use it in battle, which is ridiculous. So Sardashi could actually beat Boruto, even Karma Seal Boruto with Genjutsu. Now, I hope that they don't nerf any characters in these exams, and I hope that they do actually have Sarda use Genjutsu at the start of her battle, especially if she's fighting Boruto or Miski. I think she needs to use, well, she don't need to use Genjutsu on Miski because she scales higher than Miski, and she would destroy Miski even without Genjutsu. But I would like to see her use Genjutsu. So, the most, I think Boruto and Sarda would make for the best match because they're both the strongest in the tuning exams. And I would be interested to see if Boruto could actually overpower Sarda's Genjutsu. I highly doubt it because in order to counter a Sharingan-based Genjutsu, you need an Uchiha Dojutsu. Now, would Momoshiki help Boruto break out of it? I don't know. The Momoshiki's not a tail beast, so it's not the same. You can't apply the same rules that apply to Jinchuriki. And by the way, as I explained in multiple videos, the whole thing with the Jinchuriki is that's not a short counter to Genjutsu. So yeah, that's the case with that because Obito put Yagra in a Genjutsu and he had full control over his tail beast. Now, yeah, so I think that'll probably be the best match we can get. However, I would be very, very happy with seeing Boruto versus Miski because we've seen Boruto and Sarda have, very, very brief fights or training sparring matches in the past. So yeah, we've seen them, kind of exchange, kind of fight each other a little bit multiple times. We have never seen Boruto fight Miski though, so I'm very, I'll be very, very interested in seeing that because that's a new matchup, a fresh matchup. But also Chocho versus Miski will be a fresh matchup because we never seen those two fight either. So yeah, I'm cool with either Sarda versus Boruto or a Boruto versus Miski. I'm cool with either one of those. And then Sarda versus Chocho, that will also be a cool match, but Sarda should win that easily. So yeah, I'm fine with all of those. Personally, I probably want to see probably Sarda versus Boruto, honestly. That'll probably be the best matchup they can give us. And then Miski versus Chocho. And if they do Sarda versus, I think Sarda needs to become Chunin, honestly. So I personally will be hoping that they don't nerf Sarda and allow her to use her Sharingan. Now, if by some miracle Momoshiki is able to help Boruto break out of the Genjutsu, which is very unlikely, but let's just say if that were to happen, then Boruto should beat Sarda. In that case, because Boruto has better scaling. He has better feats, I should say. So I would be happy. I mean, if we get Sarda versus Chocho, then it's basically guaranteed that Sarda's going to win. So I'll be fine with that as well. I think Boruto and Sarda should become Chunin. Miski, I don't think needs to become a Chunin. I think basically the people I think should be Chunin are Sarda, Boruto, Tsubaki, Awabe, and Inogen. Those are the 5 characters I think that should become Chunin. Now, the characters that I think will become Chunin. So I already gave you basically my wish list of who becomes Chunin. So let me give you my predictions for the matches first, and then I'll give you my predictions for the winners. So, well, actually, I'll do it at the same time. So obviously, we're gonna have Inogen versus Hoki. I think Inogen's gonna win that and become a Chunin. And we're gonna have
Awabe versus Wasabi.
Wasabi is gonna beat Awabe. We're gonna have Tsubaki versus Denki. I think Denki's gonna win that and become a Chunin. And we're gonna have most likely Sarda versus Chocho. I think Sarda's gonna win that and become a Chunin. And then we're gonna have Boruto versus Miski. Now, at the end of the episode, we seen some guys enter Hidden Leaf Village, and I don't know how they got past the new security system, but I guess we got to find that out next week. These guys they might be like outer members of Korra or something like that, or whoever they are. It seems like they got bad intentions. And based off of the summary I seen for one of the Boruto episodes, it seems like Boruto and Miski are going to run into these guys and probably fight them or something like that. So they might actually miss their match. They might be late for the tuning exams. Now, if that happens, that means neither one of them are going to fight or become Chunin. Now, I don't know. That's probably not going to happen. I don't know because I don't think that they would, I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to have Boruto and Miski fighting in the exams. Maybe that might be the case. If that's the case, then neither one of them becomes Chunin. But if they do have their fight, then Boruto obviously would and should win and become a Chunin. Now, with all of that being said, yeah, that's pretty much everything that happened in the episode. I think it did a great job at dividing up time between the teams and showing how each of these teams and how each of these characters competing in the finals are very, very motivated to become Chunin. They did a great job with that, and they did a great job building up these Chunin exam final matches, the final round. So with all of that being said, Yeah, this was a very long review. If you guys watched the entire review, comment down below, hashtag watched all, so I know that you watched the entire video, and give me your predictions for who you think will win these tuning exams and who you think will be fighting each other in the finals of these tuning exams. And yeah, also, if you like the video, please drop a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that channel notification bell to be notified of all of my future videos. And also, share the video all over the internet. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the ratings for the episode. The ratings, in terms of art, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I didn't notice any problems with the artwork. In terms of animation, I'll give it 10 out of 10. Didn't notice any problems with the animation. And in terms of story, 10 out of 10 because the story was great in this episode. So overall, a 10 out of 10. Another fantastic episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. Now with that being said, thank you guys for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.